Hey, welcome to Quick Story. My name is Joddie Taylor. For each podcast episode, I am going to be sharing, you guessed it, a quick story that is 10 minutes or less. I hope that you get a laugh or insight or learn something new. I would just love for you to get something you need from each podcast episode. Okay, are you ready? Let's get into it. Quick story. The best advice I've ever gotten online. In particular, this was a webinar, which is very common these days, but this was over 15 years ago now, I think. And it was the very first webinar I had ever attended. I remember being kind of nervous because it was very new to me. I don't think Zoom was around then. I don't know what the online, the virtual call platform was, video call platform was. But the speaker is someone who I would categorize as a personal development guru. My words, not hers. I don't know if she would say that. She's also a well-known author. Anyway, during the call, she was talking about different things, and there was a Q&A. So I put a question in the chat, and my question was, how do I find my voice? And to my surprise, she picked my question, or maybe one of her admin folks did. And I don't even think my name was attached to the question. She just read the question out. And she said, how do you find your voice? Use it. Use it. And then she moved on to the next question. And I was like, huh? I wasn't really sure what to make of this advice. I think maybe I wanted to do this, do that, and then you do this and the third and the second, but she just said use it, and she left it at that, and she moved on. And it's been many years, but I still remember that advice, and I took it to heart, and I began to use my voice in many different ways. So why was I asking that? Because I often felt like I couldn't say what I wanted or say what I meant. Now, folks who knew me then might disagree, especially if we were particularly close. But I do think I was the kind of person back then to be upset about something and to seethe, and to not say why I was upset, and to not literally use my voice. Sometimes I would practice in my head many times over, just to say something simple to someone else, even if it was someone I really knew. And the other way I wanted to use my voice was, I guess, something like this, like podcasting, to literally use my voice, to not be quiet or silent. And I'm talking about from little things to big things. Sometimes I just literally would not use my voice. It was like it was stuck in my throat. And I had lots of thoughts and lots of ideas. I don't know. This is probably something for a therapist's couch. Like, why was I so afraid to use my voice? For lack of a better word, I don't think it was like an active fear, but I was more often than not quiet when I didn't I didn't want to be. I was going to say when I didn't have to be, but when I didn't want to be. So if you're wondering, how can I find my voice? It's use it. That's the simple answer I got. It's still stuck with me. I'm still using it today, all these years later, by doing things like the podcast, by expressing how I feel and my thoughts and my opinions with family and friends and with wild strangers, just using my voice, because using my voice has helped me to find it. And my thoughts and my beliefs and what I'm talking about, they will change and evolve. And maybe sometimes I'll even regress and go back to the way I used to think. But the important thing is that I am talking about what I want when I want. And just to be clear, when I say little things, it might be telling the person I'm driving with, like, hey, can we stop at the rest stop? Yes, like that tiny. Or a big thing like, hey, I quit. I quit this job. I quit this relationship. I quit whatever. So literally using my voice and finding my voice by using it. And I think this is a whole other conversation. This is the quick story. This is a quick story, so I'm making it quick. because we can go on and on and on about it. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, you've probably heard this quote before, like, how do you become a better writer? You write. Same thing for being an artist. If you don't know who you are, and I've often felt that way, I still feel that way, like, who am I? What am I about? I get closer to it by sharing things that are important to me or trivial. Like, I'm really into Chinese mini dramas right now. And actually for a while now, probably over a year. And I harass my sister with voice messages about Chinese mini dramas she'll never watch and she's 150% not interested in. But it's an outlet for me. I should do something with that. She even said that. I think that's kind of her way of saying, like, please stop leaving me these messages. So yeah, use it. Use your voice, say what you want to say, when you want to say it. And maybe it's a public platform like podcasting or YouTube videos or writing, or just getting into the habit of telling people what you really feel. I liken it to being a toddler or a senior citizen. Shout out to my toddlers and senior citizens. They say what they feel, in my experience. They say what they feel. And there's less room for mystery. You're never wondering, like, oh, how do they really feel about this? So that's the short and sweet of it. That is my quick story. You want to know how to find your voice? Use it. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Quick Story. Again, my name is Joddie Taylor. You can find me at joddie.substack.com. That's JODDIE.substack.com. Please consider subscribing to my newsletter. I send it out monthly, and I'd love to keep in touch. Thank you so much for listening. Again, that's JODDIE.substack.com. Thank you.